take them all out for the big bounce off the bottom. That's a big shakeout. This is what happens to the bulls when they got that exuberant. I can't even keep up with the tick-tock. All right, we're in bear market. We told you people not to get involved in that. Whoa, look at that.
Good evening, stock traders, and welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio here on a beautiful Thursday night, May 10th, 2012. I am now the producer, STT. Joining us on the program tonight, I have Stock Sumo.
Hey, good evening, STT. Glad to be back. What an exciting day.
It's good to have you back on the show, sir. Also joining us on the program tonight is Haas.
What's up, guys?
How's it going there, Haas?
Oh, not too bad. I'm just enjoying another fine day up here in Minneapolis.
That's good to hear. Well,
how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Also, joining us on the show tonight, I have Mr. Cop.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? How are you?
I am fantastic, sir. How about yourself?
Loving it. Absolutely loving it.
That's good to hear. Also, on the radio show with us tonight is Sifakia.
Aloha. Full night here, boys. Full gang.
What's going on there, Siffy?
Nothing, man. What's the special occasion to have the whole crew?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. Nobody would get off.
To be honest with you, they dragged me on here, man.
See?
One big happy family.
All right. So tonight, hosting the show is... who is this? Who is hosting tonight? I got so many people. Who am I going to choose tonight? How about Sifakia? Sifakia, I never heard you host the show yet. You want to host tonight?
Not really. How about Haas, and I'll do some charting.
How about Haas?
That's probably a bad idea.
All right. Well,
how hard could it be? Whatever.
Then we'll go back to old reliable and give it to Stock Sumo.
All right. Well, I'm always good at being the host, and I'm always good at cutting people off. I'll try to do my best to bite my tongue tonight and not interrupt too much. I think we're, starting to fall into a rhythm and getting the hang of things. It's just pretty complex with all the goodies and all the intricate toys that we get to work with all this technology. And it's going to get even more exciting when we get this app going. So I know everybody on the team is real fired up about that. We're real pumped up about this video streaming and running through these charts. And, now you're able to see Cop do all the awesome DD he does. You get to see it firsthand. I know everybody that's tuning in is either at the auditorium and checking out the video, or they're on our homepage. So why don't we just jump right into the action from today and take a look at what's hot on the Buzz Cloud. Cop, take it away.
All right, sounds good, guys. Appreciate it. As you know, the main platform that we use is the Investors Hub for everything that we do. So I'm going to go to the hot and then go on down to the ticker Buzz Cloud. Based on the time of the day, normally I like to use the 12-hour. I'm not a big fan of the 24-hour. I know you guys have heard that over and over again. The first play that I'm going to jump to is, I'm sure you guys know how this pretty much works. Essence of it is the more buzz that's out there, the bigger the play in some cases, or the most posts. It's not necessarily mean the most amount of money. So you kind of got to analyze each play for what they are. The first thing I'm going to jump to KMAG first. So let's go ahead and get there. All right, KMAG, we kind of talked about last night. The anticipated that bounce, and today, and we got that. You got the 0.0067 up 7 ticks, 11.67%. Huge volume, 28,322,000 ran to it. Now, if you notice that in the early day, there's definitely some profit taking that actually happened there, and it was anticipated. It was just way too low for what it was actually doing. And here's the thing that came out. KMAG updates shareholders. Right, so I'm going to jump to the news real quick. We didn't know about the news; that was just a bonus. Basically, they had some problems that are going on with false statements from Minimar Marketing Group. In late 2009, Minimar met with Jeffrey Reed and discussed potential business transactions. No transactions were ever consummated, and Minimar Marketing Group received a letter to confirm the cancellation of any further discussions in October 2010. A statement was released to shareholders of KMAG, updating the company status and including the following disclosure. Right, and it goes through the whole thing. Jeff Reed, great guy. You guys know we like him a lot. Actually have the website in here, so I'm going to go ahead and jump there. A lot of good stuff that you can actually get out of here. It goes into the different stuff about next tag, custom, and all those things. A real good gouge is we actually had them on the show. I guess it was like 3 weeks ago, where he talked about the dual tag and all the different countries that the patent is actually located in, and just some real huge good information from that aspect. All right, I'm not going to beat the dead horse with that one. You guys know what I like to do with when it comes to these type of things. And the main thing is I like looking at who's posting, the buzz that's going on, and from that aspect. I think calling the bounce on this was pretty easy. I think anybody could have done it. A lot of solid traders are actually on this board. Oh, look, there's one right there. Just saying. No, I mean, a lot of good people that are actually on this board, and they're playing the swings. They're doing a lot of things. They're trading the stock. I mean, a huge money ball that's coming in here. On this very first one, guys, I'm going to kind of walk the listeners through a couple things, because I think they need to understand exactly what's happening here. Okay, of exactly how STT is so effective at what we do. It's the tools, and I'm just going to be honest about that. We are pretty good traders in that aspect. From I believe, Siffy's one of the best option players I've ever seen. Haas is huge on the bottom plays and on the swings and on the and a lot of different things. Sumo is probably by far the best L2 trader you'd ever want to meet, because he doesn't even need to know what's going on with the stock. All he's got to do is talk about it. All right. However, I play all kinds of different stuff, so I don't even know what my trend is. But here's what I want to do. All right. What I want you to do is go to ddamanda.com. Okay, ddamanda.com, and you're not going to be able to get into this unless you register. Okay, this is a paid service. I don't even know how much it is. I think it's either $50 or $75, something like that. But the point is, I don't trade without DD Amanda. If I lost DD Amanda, I'm done. I will do radio, and I will not be trading any longer. It is the most. What's that? Ditto? It is without a doubt the most powerful tool I have ever seen. And I've been on Wise Trade. I've been on all that stuff. Scott Trade, E-Trade, everything you can imagine. This does things that you just cannot do anywhere else. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through a couple of things that's happening here, and kind of just walk you through this. All right. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to slide to the right. All right. So hold on one second. Work with me. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit. All right. Now, all the way to the right here, this is what you're seeing. The date, the money volume that's traded, the price, and then the factor. And I'll get into that in a different lecture of some form, not tonight. The volume, the low, the high, and the up and down percentage. Okay, now if you notice, tonight's not in there. It updates at 9 p.m. at night. And what I look for is money balls, okay? Wherever the money flow is going is where I'm going, period. Because that means there's liquidity. That means I can get in, I can get out if I'm actually trading the stock, and whatever the case may be. Now, if you notice here, look at these big days, 674 grand, 510 grand, 693 grand, 947 grand, 500 grand. Yeah, I mean, just ridiculous money flow coming in here, and then with the volume. All right. Now, if you see coming back over here, I'm going to bring it back to the right, to the left here. Now, I'm going to zoom back out because you're going to this is going to have to see. All right. Every little thing over here is basic simplicity from a DD perspective. I can go to S chart, and what that means is, lo and behold, stock charts opens up, gives me the actual play. Okay, I'll X out of that. I can go to this one, right? And it's not my preferred, but this is profits PI. Okay, coming back. These are different parameters within inside that. Then you have summary and Canobus, everything that you could possibly imagine when it comes to the tools that you would need to trade, SEC filings. And I'm not going to go through every single one. American Bulls, Board Central, the stock scores, OTC markets. And here's iHub Talk. Now look at this. Isn't this nice? iHub Talk, everywhere where a KMAG post exists. Buzz matters, and buzz is really what a key aspect to trading. Without the buzz or without the promotions, without the awareness, without any of that stuff, none of that stuff is happening. So let me here, could zoom in. You can just see what it is. Throughout all over the place, these are the stocks that are actually, that mention KMAG by the symbol. Pretty simple stuff, right? Real easy. However, it matters because it shows you what's actually going on. Okay. The scanners, basically, you can set up in any different ways, Nevada, and then you have all the state SOS. This is beautiful, right? Coordinated Legal Tech, where you can get every single state. You can go through, get all the DD. So there's no mystery of what I'm doing here. This is what makes me quick at my DD, right? To where if a stock has happened, I can run through it pretty quickly. Then what you're seeing on the scanner, you can set different parameters. Now, it's like any other scanner. I'm not going to go into exactly what I use. That's the trick of the trade. I'm just not sharing. And then we'll talk about different things. Death drop, current, they mean, current is the stock current, and those type of things. OTC markets, which is always a must in everything you do. Look at that. It takes you right to KMAG. You're able to see all the filings, everything that's associated with it. Then you go to the company info. So I'll jump there. All right, so you get the company info, tells you share structure, all those things, how to contact the company, all the cool stuff that you would want to know to be able to trade a stock, and what I consider essential. I think the OTC is hard enough if you're not to trade in the first place, and much, much harder to trade without the tools that you actually need to have. All right, so let me bounce back there. Okay. A lot of times, based off the stock and the ones that we're playing, is if we update it and we verify something, we'll go ahead. You could type in the actual AS, the OS, and the float based off what it is, the SOS, the whole 9 yards. And then the streamers, things that you want to put on watch, and then all the different things. Now, in this scanner, I can set these things, and then I can go down to, and I can scan them. And right down here, what's going to happen is all the things that meet the scanner, these stocks will populate right in this little area. Okay, not going to go through that because it's just not. It's a lot of time involved in that. All right. So bottom line, back to KMAG. Big news coming out with giving the update to the shareholders, saying what's going on. A lot of volatility actually in the stock. A lot of money players, a lot of money, and definitely a money ball. And as you know, we've had them on the show and those type of things. And big fan of Jeff Reed. And the next thing I'd like to do is run to the chart.
All right. Well, we looked at this chart yesterday, and not a lot's changed except that we did find that support we were talking about there. You saw yesterday that 0053. It did below that old March 0055, but we are eyeing that MA 100 MA at 0045. She did hold. Of course, we got that 50 MA at 0082 and that 200 at 0087. And also your 20 way up there at 0.0133, which was our old trend line. Now that we've got our new trend, which is heading down, go ahead and throw a line on that. And you can see how that is pretty straight down. I'm going to go ahead and throw another line right on here, kind of give you a downside. You can see that's pretty steep. One thing I want to do on here is I'm not going to start on this first candle back at quad 3. I'm going to start on the candle after, and then I'm going to just let it rest on that 0006, right around that range there. And you can see if you just even let it rest on there, how it just really coincides with what's going on right now. And even going all the way back, that's February, early March. You could have stuck that line just on that first rip up to 0.0015 and then swing low 00, extended that line out, just played out in the last, the line through at some point. Well, pretty much, same old thing. We want to hold that 0053. You want to start making higher lows and start moving up, get this price per share back above that 50 MA and that 200 MA. And eventually, if this thing is going to be a longer term trade, you'll be trading with that 20 MA below you, and that's going to be your support. As for the rest of the indicators and what have you on this, the RSI, it definitely got a little bit more of a hook going on to it today just because of the, a little bit of the upswing. It's at 42.25. Still want to see that get up above 50. The PPO, it is crossed back through, but, not a lot's changed since yesterday, but at least it didn't go down more. So that's the main thing.
Okay, awesome. Good stuff. Next one up, definitely no stranger to the show. CEO interviews on the show countless times. IC Places, ICPA is the ticker symbol. The day's range was between 3.5 to 4 cents. There was a slight gap up. Previous close was 033, and it closed at 0388. That was a gain of 17.58% on 8.4 million shares. All right, Cop, what do you got for the DD? I mean, not that we haven't broken it down 80 times and then some.
Clearly again, gaining again. Called the bottom back a couple of days ago. Exactly what was happening there. It's creeping up to the 18th. That's really what's going on. Okay, on the 18th is when May 18th is, I guess, the debut party and a couple different things for EasyVIP. For those that don't know, EasyVIP basically is that company that does their VIP service at all the different major clubs and those type of things, to where they pre-sell tables, champagne, probably limos in the future, all kinds of different things. And it's really based out of Miami. And part of their growth, if you will, is going to be Las Vegas, LA, New York, all the big major cities, to where clubbing's a big deal, and they got a lot of high-end luxury type atmospheres where it's $1,500 to $3,000 for a table for a night out. A lot of the premier places where long lines to get in, and most of the time you won't get in. And this is one of those mechanisms that guarantee that you'll be in. Bottom line, that company was on Shark Tank not too long ago. And tonight's the sequel event to that, to where, to the 18th is rather, to where, they give the contract and those type of things with Mark Cuban coming into play with that. So how's that apply to ICPA is the fact that EasyVIP is in partnership with ICPA. That's just one avenue of it. The other big side of it is the Clear Channel piece, where basically their shows and all their advertisements and a lot of different aspects to all the different things that the CEO, Mr. Steve Samlis, is doing, where it's going to be in all the airports, 260 airports, where it's going to be at all the gates, all kinds of different stuff. And like he said on the interview, the deal. Normally when you go there, you see CNN, those type of things. This is going to be more robust, to where it's a lot of different shows, to where you can enjoy yourself watching the TV. Huge revenue potentials all over the place for this guy, and he's doing it. And those of you that don't know, I don't know how you wouldn't know, but he came on the show. Probably like 4 months ago, something of that form, and liked what was going on with STT radio and those type of things, and basically invited us to come on to his website, which we did. And over the course of the next few months, this was the next stage in that process of getting live video up on Investors Hub, to where we can do all the DD, CEO interviews, and everything else. And then we're going to jump over to the aspect of completely doing a lot of different things with the business section of IC Places, and increasing that base. which is growing drastically due to the big footprint that IC places have. But that's essentially that's the story. What do we got with the chart?
Chart looking awesome, just like we talked about last night. Wanted to see it hold that last candle where she found that support off that 20 MA a couple days back. Now it's sitting at 0.0241. That's your 20 MA. That's going to be solid support there. You can see she definitely didn't have as much volume as, I mean, could have been more, but I'd like to see that confirmed with more volume going up. I do like that you got that 50 MA kissing that 200. You know, you already got that 20 cross through it. That was sweet. And now what we really want to see is that 50 get through it, and then eventually the 100 coming up through it too, and then having those all in line. And then, you know, you're on like Donkey Kong. But yeah, the chart's looking good. I guess you're going to have to eye that 0.0585 if this thing gets some legs. I mean, that'd be a pretty good move from here. So I think you'll have to look to a little, you know, nearer term chart to get a little bit more of a resistance on her. I'm looking at a daily. But yeah, good stuff. The RSI, like we talked about yesterday, it's back above that 50 MA overlay. The PPO, it's crossed over, but it's still positive. The slow stow, it got a nice little hook going on to it today, and it's setting at 44.27. So let's get that back above that 50 midpoint and that 50 MA overlay, which is at 58.52. So yeah, the chart is definitely still intact. Only the stock guys know where this thing's going, but man, you got a lot of people on this, and you know, sexy story, as Haas would say. So what a vehicle. Definitely got to have this one on the watch list.
All right. Nice job. Next one on the plate is Greenbridge Industries. Shouts out to Penny Machine. He's been all over this one past couple days. I hit him up on a PM the other day and was asking him, man, why do you love these triple O's so much? He's like, well, I like them because they're the big percentage gains. And as you can see with this one, big move past couple days, up 83%, another 83% today. Closed at 0011. That ticker symbol is GRBG. That's Greenbridge Industries. Girl, Robert, boy, girl. 43.9 million in volume. So nice action there today.
Yeah, the 83% up is a pretty powerful move. The other, you know, like you said, that's a mover. We picked this up very early on the morning show, and you know, called out a couple things. Now, granted, I will tell you this: Black Ops basically gave us the heads up on the, hey, check this out. This is starting to get some volume, and he was right on the money with that very, very early. So wonder who got those fours. I know a lot of people who did. So pretty awesome move. Now here's the thing: the no news today, right? And you know, it's definitely a battle on the board. There's no doubt about it, right? You're seeing, you know, Cassandra right here, and this is one of the things you look for. You look for the players on the board. It's extremely important to do that. Because, all right, so you got Cassandra as a mod, and you got Black Ops as a mod, battling within each other on the stickies, right? GRBG is a default as a corporation, caveat emptor, skull, and crossbones warnings, all right? And then you got Black Ops with the DD. Now, clearly, the Black Ops DD is what won the day. There's no doubt about that. So Black Ops is phenomenal at his DD. Plain and simple, just really, really good with it. So I'm going to actually go through it. Gives you some website stuff, starts talking about what's going on with it. So why does Black Ops like that seemingly piece of crap, he calls it, caveat emptor, missing 2 filing deadlines, pure and simple, chart, share structure, speculation. That's exactly what he said. And you know, he kind of basically put it out there, and a lot of other people liked it too. So you looked at the float at 347 million, the OS at 382 million, and the AS at 500 million. And here's the Ungag TA. So he gives you the whole thing, gives you the map, basically tells you the whole thing from that aspect. And then goes through and talks about the different, you know, the fact that it was RS to death in the past. Nothing hidden, nothing gained right here. Really laid it out on the line. but it's sending up those indicators that are very odd in a lot of different pieces. And the beauty to it, it's a quad stock, right? People love quad stocks. I don't know why. I do too. Yeah, I mean, and I know why. And the fact is, you can get some high volatility to where you can make 100%, 200%, 300%. But the point being, great DD session, and this is one of those things that I would spend the time actually reading to figure it out. Tomorrow is going to be a telltale sign on a lot of different things, right? Once you get the first run on whether or not they're going to maintain it, keep running with it from that aspect. But look at this DD page. I mean, this thing is just insane. He puts it all in there, throws a chart, concentrates a lot on the CMF, which I'm a big fan of. CMF is a big deal, but I don't really talk technical analysis because I got other people that do that, and I'm not nearly as good as they are. I'm more of a trend and pattern type of guy. And there's my man Black Ops. Let's go ahead and run with that chart.
All right, I went over and switched over to. Sorry about that. 60-minute chart. I'm on the wrong ticker, ain't I?
Yeah, it's GRBG.
Sorry about that. I had it right. And then I wanted to switch over. My bad. GRBG. Got it, guys. I wanted to look at a 60-minute for it since it kind of just came back to life in March, but I'll catch the next one. 0.0011. Unbelievable dip and rip today. Congratulations on those fours, whoever Cop's friends were, probably Cop. Yeah. This thing's kicking butt. Gonna have to watch this one on level 2 tomorrow, see what she's doing. Got those last 2 candles at point of reference. I like this. She finished at the high of day today. Yeah, you can't ever beat that. And I just like to see some more volume. You got that 20 coming up at 0.0002, and it's crossed through that 100 MA, and that 50's right above it at 0.003. I want to see that 20 get above that 200 and above the 50, and then start stacking on top of each other. So that's really what you want to see, and it looks like it might be happening, but only time will tell on this. This one's a newborn baby, it looks like. So RSI is kicking at 80.06. That's nice and strong. So like to see if that can hold up in that level. PPO crossed through nicely. It's heading north. It's in the positive. You got to love that. The histograms are just macking. You can see the volume came in there. A lot of price pressure there. Your slow stow, it's crossed through that 50 MA overlay and the midpoint. It's setting at 77.98. So this thing's definitely got strength. The trend is your friend. And else the trend is broken, right? Right.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Great job. Yep, the trend is your friend, baby. Always follow the trend. Well, man, how about that quality of the chart? All right. Well, we're still in beta testing. Unfortunately, that didn't go as planned, but we'll bring it back to the focus of the show and get right to the goodies on the stocks. So why don't we move on to what else was buzzing? And let's see, you just went over GRBG, so let's take a look at what else is hot in this buzz cloud here. You got EMWW, we talked about that one last night. DNAD, that one, we've talked about that one a lot. Why don't we talk about DNAD?
DNAD, sounds good.
So DNAD's action on the day was between 0035 and 0052. Yesterday's close was 0036. Today it traded over 16.7 million shares. Keep in mind the 3-month average is 8.1 million shares. And it ended up closing 2 ticks below the high day at 005 for a gain of 38.89%.
I don't want to say it, but I think this was an inner ringer called a while back, and we knew this day was coming for a while, right? Up 38%. Look at the move that happened at the end of the day, right at 3:30. Channeling right here all day, and then just boom, volume started rushing in. This is one of those plays where you'd actually want to go look at the tape and see what's going on there. And it was on the most read boards, number 15, breaking out big time today. Huge stuff. Basically, this company in here, let me just take you here and give you a little insight of what this is. We've talked about this. DNA Dynamics Inc. Basically, they develop applications and those type of things. Now, this is a 3-tier website where it's dynamic, studio, and interactive. It's pretty cool. So let me go ahead and jump there. And what it is you notice right here up at the very top, you're able to see the different pieces of this of the studio, the interactive, and this is subsidiaries of exactly how they play. And it talks about all the latest posts, all the different things. What we do, the whole 9 yards, and goes into all of that. The bottom line with this company, and let me go ahead and go back here. The bottom line with this company, what makes it so valuable to me, okay, in the sense that they're putting out apps in massive quantities. I mean, there was one shot, I believe it was like 350 apps all went for approval. So, when you're putting that much out, you're talking some huge power. The one that really intrigues me is this Merlin one. Okay, Merlin is due for release in the second quarter of 2012, where you guys know the show Merlin. Basically, I think it had its season finale about 3 weeks ago, something similar to that. But it's all over the world. This show airs on so many different networks, so many different things, and it has a full framework and architecture with that. And if you listen to the insight from the show that we had where we spotlighted and did the interview with this, you'll see a whole bunch of things where we discuss that in detail. So what that means is the app has a place to go to sell already. The structure's built, the marketing is built, the segmentation is built. All of that stuff is done, and all they got to do is get it done and be the get that copyright piece out there and start making some buku bucks. And I believe that's the one that's going to set the stage for that company to go way into the future from what's actually happening there. Good crew of people that are actually on there. And if once Sify's going to go ahead and run with the chart, but the bottom line is she's been in play for a while, accumulated. Nice share structure from that aspect, and then she's showing some true strength. And if you look at some of the names that ran, right, CJ, Roy London, Pimping Wall Street, Pickle, they're all running there. And this play is, Smitter, the whole 9 yards. So this play is definitely in the game. All right, what do we got from a chart perspective?
I went ahead and pulled up a weekly on this one. I'm going to start off by throwing a line on this, going all the way back to 2011. You can see we've been in a steady downtrend. And I'm just going to put it on that 014 in August and let it rest on there. And you can see that we tried to get a breakout here in April, didn't do it, came down, it found nice support, and now it's back up, and she's touching up against that 50 MA at 0.0052. Big candle day today, a lot of volume. You got to love that. You've got your 100 MA at 0.0111, and you got that 200 all the way up there at 0.0938. So you got a lot of room to the upside. I like that you're just getting that 20 starting to curl up. We want to see that 20 come up through that 50. You got that 20 MA all the way down there at 0.0025, so you got solid support there. You've also got those candles back in April, May. And you can use those as support. Looking at this weekly, you just got to trade it accordingly, and basically you got good support here. Now you can see where she was, even though I'm drawing a red line, guys, sorry about this, I'm off tonight big time. But you can see she was trending along there for a while. I'm sure you could look back at the post and people were talking about consolidation. She was going to bounce, and then you can see that she even had a candle right in there where they probably were calling that the breakout. She got above that 20, and then boom, she fell off a cliff. Well, this is a little bit different setup. I like what I'm seeing. You got that RSI. It found that support off that 50 MA overlay once she got through it. I'd love to see that. Now she's up through that 50 midpoint. She's at 57.13. So you got a lot of strength. I love when you look at a weekly and you can see all these things coming together because that's really what you want to see, is the trend begin on a longer term chart. And once that gets going, you can see those really big booms. Look at any of the large moves we've had. You look at the dailies, the weeklies, and you go, dang, why wasn't I looking at this thing 6 months ago? You know what I'm saying? So coming down here at the PPO, really like this. You got the crossover. You're just poking your head up above that 50 MA overlay. You can look back pretty much at any chart. You can see when she broke below it what she did. That continued the trend down. I like your histogram. It's coming up. I want to see this get up through that midpoint and head positive. The slow stow, same thing. It's pretty low. That 50 MA is real low too. So like we said, this trend has been straight down for a long time. Not a lot of opportunities to get up on this one, I have a feeling. So it looks like they're taking their opportunity here, and they're running with this Momo. I interested to see what this thing does on level 2 tomorrow morning.
Oh, awesome, man. Great job. Yeah, I like looking at the long-term chart myself. And, you can do a 3-month chart, but you don't really get the full idea on where the stock has came from in the long term. So it's good to take it back like you just did. Nice. Cool. So why don't we move right along, see what we got next on the buzz cloud that is standing out. Got MXMI over there on the left side. So we'll take a look at that one for the day. MXMI ended up closing up 45% on the day, traded 4.5 million shares, and it closed at 0045. That was a gain of 0014. So what do you got there, Cop?
Yeah, that's a nice move that actually happened right there. Not huge volume, but you see the trend that's actually starting right there. This has been one of those plays that has been, in the past was much, much higher, was beat down pretty good. And what I'd like to refer you back to is ACYD. If you guys remember correctly, the thing drove all the way up and then had that low, slow burn volume. And this is very, very similar, and a lot of the same players. So you could probably take this chart, put it on the other one, and this is going to go from that perspective. It just got beat down too far. To where you can load up the shares at the bottom and you can actually play the mid-range point. And what I mean by that is it going to go to 2 cents like where it was? Probably not. Okay. However, can you clip 50, 60, 70% out of this thing? Yeah, you can. And that's what, when you have a lot of these, and I'm not going to say it was a promotion. Did it act like a promotion? Yes, but I don't have proof of that because I didn't do the DD to that extreme. But I think it was one of those ones that were. And if you notice, it's also a caveat emptor, a lot of different things. Pitts is on this up there bashing, and Pitts bashes everything. I mean, I like all I want is Pitts one time to pick a stock, and that would be good. Just one, just pick one stock, champ, and then we'll take you seriously. All right, but can I say that on the radio? I guess so. All right, bottom line is big move, right? That's what you got. The float is not 33 million as some people believe. Let's see what this one says because I don't really know what it is. The float is 51 million or more, not 33 million. So then you're getting an update. It's like anything else. Go to the board, check the buzz, see what's going on. But whatever happened with the selling pressure that was pushing this thing down went away. I didn't look at the tape to actually see who the sellers were. But normally when you see a move like this after being pushed down so far, it's because PERT or VNDM or somebody like that was there and they're no longer there. That's just me using an assumption based off of what I normally know. But you got a lot of good players here. GM Tech is in the game. And they're all, just running the stock. Let's go ahead and check out the chart on this one.
All right. Again, I'm going with the weekly on this one, and you can see you had a nice little bottoming formation, like that candle formation that you saw, that 0007. That's a indecision candle. A lot of people call it different things. I just call it indecision candle, but it looks like she decided to go up. You can see she broke through that 20 MA today with a vengeance, ran all the way up and kissed that 50 MA at 0.0046, just closing right below it. But what a run she had to it. I want to see if that can continue. You got good support, obviously, that 0.003. That's your last swing high back in February. So So yeah, keep your eye on that. You got your 100 MA at 0.0091. If we can get through that 50, I'd like to see that. All these moving averages, they're so steep, whenever you look at these weeklies. That's why, you can look back at these other runs, look at back when in 2011, it went from that 0.0018 to 0.04100. And anybody that doesn't understand how candles work, every one of these candles is representing a week of time. So that's why I like them, is it gives you a better idea of what's going on, and you can watch them stack out and see what happens. And when they break down, look for the patterns and start recognizing them and go with that. So, sitting there under that 50 MA, let's see if that's going to be a resistance, because right now she is until it's broken above, making that 20 MA at 0.0018 solid floor. And, of course, like we said, that 0.0030 old swing high, that's going to be key. And you can look at near-term charts, daily, 60 minutes, what have you, to get even a tighter support range. And you can see back before you fell off of a cliff, you were in a tight little range there. And let's see if she can get back up to it. She looks like she's in the bottom of that channel there. And the top of that channel is all the way up at 4 cents. Not saying that's where she's going. That'd be an amazing move from here. That'd be a 10-bagger if I'm doing my math correctly. But, hey, keep your eye on that. Let's look at the RSI, the PPO, and the slow stow real quick. And they're all looking pretty damn solid, too. You got that RSI. It is cracking at 58.42. They moved it up through that MA overlay and that midpoint like nothing today. I also like that you're through the overlay on the PPO and you're heading north. You can see that histogram. It's popped up and heading north as well. I'd love to see that in the positive. You can see the slow stow. It found its support off the bottom there. Just dipped briefly below that overlay, but she's heading north, and she's setting at 52.77, so she is positive. Let's see if she can hold there and continue her trend north. So good stuff. Like the big volume increase today. Let's see this price per share go up with volume. That's usually a pretty good confirmation that they ain't done yet.
All right, nice, good stuff. Loving it. All right, let's go back over the buzz cloud, see what else is hot. Next up is SNet, sourcinglink.net Inc. Up 60%, closed at 008. That was a gain of 003 on the day, and it was 2.2 million in volume. Average 3-month volume is 915,000 shares. Run with it.
Nice. All right, this one we're going to go. I'm going to go a little deeper because I want to show how some of the capabilities of what we're doing. If you guys don't know, normally we do the spotlights, which is normally one stock for about 45 minutes, and then we'll do a bunch of different things where we talk about the markets in general. It could be anything from Market Watch or whatever, as well as CEO interviews and and a whole bunch of things where in the morning show we're just calling and doing whatever we're seeing that's hot, the news plays and everything else, and we're calling them on the dime, and a lot of different aspects of what we have here. Sourcinglink.net, if you guys remember, I'm going to go to the iBox here. Always go to the iBox. It gives you some good stuff. Now, the iBox tells you a couple things, right? It's not the information that matters in most cases. I mean, that's a huge plus. If the iBox is up to date and it is accurate once you check, that means the people that are controlling the board care about what's going on. Okay, when it's got old information or it's just pure crap or it's pure bashing, all right, you're entering a fight before you even start. All right, so sourcinglink.net, we actually had we did an interview with these guys, if I remember correctly. I'm almost positive we did. I just hard to remember. But in essence, basically, this company does the luxury transportation services and a whole bunch of things to where this was the one here. Let me go way back here. You see the chart thing. This is one that had the Grammys, if I remember correctly. And I'm just going from my memory on this. But let's jump to DD Amanda and see what we get. Okay. So remember, I still have it open, and I got K-Mag down there. I'm just going to type SNET down there. All right. Hold on one second. Okay, then I'm going to hit the little arrow. Next thing you know, this is what's going to pop up, okay, all the different things. So now the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to run over to the money, all right? I want to see what's happening with the money. Now, this is extremely, extremely important to understand. This is one of my best and favorite plays, okay? When you see a stock, look at all these right here. What you're seeing is only 1,000 in volume, 1,000 in volume, $299, $270, 1,000, 1,000, $5,000. Then all of a sudden, 17 grand comes out of the blue. Okay, normally means a group comes into play. Okay, so let me blow this up a little bit more for you so you see where I'm at. All right, so it normally means a group comes into play. All right, at this 14,000 and at this 17,000. And what's happening is it could be a promoter, it could be some spike of news, but most of the time it's not. It's just the promotion side of it. Okay, then what you have there is the a big day yesterday with the 59 with the 51,000 actually ran to the stock, and those are the type of things that you're actually looking for. All right, so let me back out of here. Say I'm going to go back to 100%, and if you could look at the filings, all right. So where am I going to go? I'm going to go OTCmarkets.com. Right, I'm going from DD Amanda. This is just one of the first steps I'm going to make. All right, so I want to show you guys how this actually works. All right, so it takes you to OTCmarkets.com. A little refresh action happening there. All right, now if you see here, these are where the filings are, okay? Now, what I kind of want you to get from this is, I'm going to blow this up. These are the filings that they had of recent, right? The October, you got the interim financial report with an addendum, if you amended one for that. All right. So let me just after a notification of late filing. So let's go ahead and jump to this interim financial report. Now, what you see here is, and I'm not going to go into detail in this at all. I'm just simply showing that the capability of what this can actually do. When we start breaking down a stock in the sense of a spotlight, when we pick a stock, we pick it based off volatility, buzz, most read. And we never look to see who's on the board because we really don't care. We want to remain objective. And we go through the same process. We go to the Investors Hub, we go to the iBox, we check the players, then we go to the filings. And that will always remain the same. And what you find is what you find. Whatever the filings say is what they say. And that kind of depicts whether or not that, it's a positive spin or a negative spin or whatever the case may be. But I do know this. I think if we stay true to that trend, and if we tell people out there that are investing that, hey, look, debt just cleared and there's shares getting ready to enter the market, and the people that are talking to you really are talking to you because they want to sell you these shares on the cheap, and within 3 weeks the shit's going to dump. Okay, I mean, that's what I believe people want to hear if they're looking for the truth. Now, the Momo players and the promoters, will they get mad? Sure. Okay, but I don't know who you are in the beginning, and I apologize for all that. I don't. I'm just kidding. But I'm going to say it the way it is, and hopefully I don't pick your stock. How about that? Beyond that, that's just the way it's going to be. Point from this aspect is I want you to know that you can see this. We've done these long sessions with the DD, and I've talked about filings and all these numbers I'm rattling off for like a half hour or, per se, let's say 15 minutes. And people are probably like, what the hell is this guy even talking about? I can't see what he's saying. So if we do this and we go through the process and I show you where to find this stuff, where are the revenues at? How's it looking? What's the liabilities? What's the goodwill? All these different topics, you're able to get a real understanding of where this company is, what they're doing, if they're taking it serious, from a lot of different aspects from that. All right, from that side. All right, so I'm back on DD Amanda. All right, and the next piece with this is, I'm looking at the last thing, is you would go through these other things, Canobus filings and all that, check your charts and all that. But for the sakes of time, I'm just going to go ahead and jump this one to the chart. You got that there, Sif?
Yep, I got the chart. We're going with a daily on this, and you can see like you said, Cop, yesterday, that massive volume. And she closed below that 20, but today they dipped and ripped her, and they dipped her right down to yesterday's close, and you can see that, and that's how you like to see a candle work. Using the prior day's candle for a support. And they ripped it all the way up through that 50 MA, which was sitting at 0.0121. So next resistance is going to be that 200 MA, which is at 0.0182. And you got 100 MA at 0.0242. So those are going to be your next resistances. As for supports, you got quite a bit. Not only you got your 50 and your 20 MA, you got that old swing high at 0.0092 and that 0.007, and that's just on a daily. So you could even look at a more near-term chart. One thing we'll throw on here real quick, let's throw on a quick line on here, starting off that 0.0595, and let's drop it on down, and we'll just rest it on there, and you can see when they ran it up through there, you could have thrown a line on there and said, okay, that's your breakout there on a daily. But what I also want to do is I want to throw off that same point. I want to throw it on the downside. I'm just going to try to stack it on as many candles as I can. And you can see when you do that, if she was to break back below, your trend is definitely shooting down. So it could be a nasty ride if she can't get back up. So keep your eye on that 200 MA, because when she broke below that back in, when was that? March. You can see what happened, trapdoor, and now she's coming back up to retest it. So that's going to be key. I want to see that volume increase too. I don't want to see the price per share going up like that on such light volume. As for your RSI, I like it. You got a positive divergence going on, and what I really like about it is you can see once she crossed above that 50 MA overlay, she stuttered along that for a while. She found the support. Now she's moving up. Now she's sitting at 51.09, so she's crossing through that midway point, which is solid. That's what we like to see, especially on a daily or a weekly, anything longer term. Your PPO, your slow stow, you got a lot of really good-looking things going on here. This is all secondary, though, depending on what they want to do with her in the open market. Keep that in mind. But while we're don't know what happened there, but while we look at it, you got to love it, because she's crossing through, heading north through that overlay. That'll be good. You see she hasn't done that for a while, and if you look back when she broke down below it, what happened there. So you also got your histogram. It's heading up, so solid. And sorry, I got the line there, but slow stow, same thing. You got a little bit of positive divergence going on. I want to see that get above that overlay. So we got a lot of interesting things going on here. But yeah, watch that 200 MA, guys. That's a heavy resistance, but we've seen what happens when you get through the 200 MA. You can get major breakouts, and you can see that money compounding in real quick. So good stuff. Look forward to looking at that one too, man. I got a lot of stuff to watch tomorrow morning on the radio show, huh?
Oh yeah, man. We got so many things. We're gonna have to create a couple of different watch lists, because it just seems like they're getting overwhelming. It's not going to fit on one watch list. Oh, gosh. Well, here's another one that's been huge buzz after. We've been talking about this one a lot on the show. You and Haas, Siffy, you and Haas have nailed this one. Hats off to Buckeye 2 for coming on our board and giving us the skinny on the after hour news on ARNA. That's Arena Pharmaceuticals Inc. Been talking a lot about it on the morning show. They halted the stock earlier today for their FDA decision, and Buckeye 2 came out, told us they got approved. After hours, it was trading at $6.95, and then last traded at $3.66. So up almost 100% after hours. Haas, you going to chime in?
I'm going to chime in and say that the drug wasn't approved. It had a positive FDA panel review. The approval date comes in late June here, so it wasn't approved. If it's approved, this thing would be trading at $20 right now, bud.
Thanks for the correction. Well, at least we got some positive news, and we're going to see a gap up, it looks like. Siffy, run with the chart.
Yeah, beast. I'm real excited. What can I say? Thanks, Haas. Looks like you're one step closer to your vacation in Hawaii, eh?
You're buying them dinner.
Hey, we got that on Radio Morning Show. That's recorded.
I'm buying him a ticket when this thing gets its FDA approval and it goes to $20. But tomorrow I'll just be happy with that 4-bagger. We've been talking about it for a while. I actually even purchased them live on the radio. Talked about it, Haas. We got in around $1 for disclaimer purposes. I am a option holder of the 250 call. So looking good, and I got that for June. So it's not going to be as big as runner as some be because it's it's a little calendar out. But hey, I'm liking it. That thing's going to be a winner. It's already up. It was already $2, 100% gain from where we got it. So looking good, loving it. I look forward to selling it live on the radio tomorrow. You watch me leave some money on the table like I always do. But yeah, the chart, I don't know what to say about it except it's going to gap up tomorrow. Enjoy.
Nice. Yeah, man. Oh, I'm so kicking myself. That's like the 3rd or 4th multi-bagger that I missed on this option strategy. Siffy and Haas has been ready to get into the action too. He's been calling them. Haas, you almost ready to jump into the options trading yet or what?
I'm getting there, man. I was really close to buying some Arna calls, but I was satisfied with my shares. I'll get there, man. You guys got to keep kicking me in the butt. I'll get on with you.
Yeah, you got to be happy with those shares. I mean, heck, it's going to be a great gap up. Oh, man, I love the way that chart is looking, too. I pulled up the weekly, just a 3-monther, and you got the 20-day kissing the 100-day. Stock broke above the 200-day. Love seeing, stocks get above these moving averages. We're always looking for it, and just like the makeup of it. So be looking for the gap up, then followed by a dip and rip. That's what my idea on the trading for Arna is tomorrow.
It's going to be real interesting, that one trading over the next month or so. I expect it, it's trading way up post-market. I expect it to trade way up pre-market, probably come out of the gates pretty hot, go up a little bit, and then it'll start coming back down. People will be taking their profits. They'll realize they have to wait another month and a half before they find out if this drug's approved or not.
I might be looking on the sidelines.
Consolidate a little bit.
I might be looking on the sidelines at the level 2 just to watch for a pullback and get in. Like, let's say it opens up at $8 or whatever, and it pulls down to like 7.
Well, I tell you what, man. After this thing consolidates and messes around and screws with its volatility for a couple of weeks here in May, it's going to start that uptrend towards that FDA date. They got an 18-4 approval today, man. So people are going to be speculating big time. Not just, small retail investors. Huge capital funds are going to be speculating big time that this drug is going to get approved. First obesity drug to potentially be approved in over 13 years. They're fighting with Vivus and Orexogen Therapeutics, but this one's the first one that's going to try to run the gauntlet through the FDA here. So it would be absolutely nuts if this thing gets approved, just from a hype standpoint. It doesn't even matter. The obesity market's huge. Everyone knows that. But, yeah, the hype's just going to be massive around the time that this FDA decision comes on.
All right. Well, been a jam-packed evening. We had the whole crew. It's always a pleasure. It's nice that we all got to get together and make it all happen. This video stuff is a lot of fun. I'm ready to wrap it up so I can go enjoy dinner. It's been such a busy day. Be sure to tune in the morning show, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time sharp. We'll get the video feeder going. Siffy will be breaking down the charts and whatnot. See what this thing does out of the gate, Arna. But that's it. Let's wrap it up here. And guys, have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. STT on the production side of things, why don't you take it away with a video. Try to see if we can get this to go one last time.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.